Of times that the Goldstone report deals with the international law concerning terrorism. It never does. It's not important, right? Does it refer to Hamas as a terrorist group? No, not a single time. How many times does it reach the conclusion that Hamas committed an act of terrorism? Never. Does it ever mention even this minor important fact that Hamas seeks to destroy Israel? Now, the Goldstone report has a 20-page, 40-year background to the Gaza conflict so that all readers will understand what it is that led to the conflict. Somehow or another, it never managed to mention that part of the background to this conflict is that Hamas seeks to destroy the state of Israel. Nor does it mention any of this lovely stuff that you'll find, such as the blessing of the annihilation of Jews in Palestine, or you can find all sorts of wonderful things if you ever read the Hamas charter about the perfidy of the Jews, their control of the world, their being behind every war that's ever existed, and the best part is the secret organizations that they use to do it, such as the Freemasons. Now, there is stuff about Hamas and in the Goldstone report. This is the kind of thing that appears in the Goldstone report. So it doesn't talk about the international legal duty to refrain from providing even passive support to Hamas. No, it says the opposite. Right? Israel imposing economic sanctions on Gaza somehow or another constitutes an unlawful form of collective punishment, according to the Goldstone report. And even better, refusing to provide support to Hamas, arresting members of Hamas, or refusing to provide them jobs is an infringement of their protected legal rights to political association and free speech. You know, you can't prevent Hamas from organizing in order to carry out its blessed annihilation of the Jews in Palestine. All right, so that's legal issue number one. I'm going to briefly talk about legal issue number two. It's something called civilian shielding. Right? What is civilian shielding? Civilian shielding is basically directing the movement or placing civilians in a place in order to use them to shield your own position, right? To use them to prevent the other side from firing at you. There's a related prohibition. It's called perfidy. Right? The act of perfidy is feigning of protected status, among other things. Excuse me. Pardon? It's the feigning of protected status, such as, for example, by using signs of the Red Cross in order not to be attacked. Okay, so did Hamas engage in this sort of thing? There are numerous reports. Here's just, for example, one. Right? Hamas set up headquarters in Shifa Hospital in Gaza. It's the largest hospital in Gaza. In doing so, it was committing an act of perfidy, right? It was adopting forbidden signs. It was using the medical personnel there and the patients there as human shields. So one of the charming things about the Goldstone report is how it dealt with all these uncomfortable things. The Goldstone report has a whole list of recommendations against Israel, about holding Israel to